talks about what we inspect, what we don't inspect, some things that we don't check for. Lead paint, this house could possibly have some lead paint in it because it was built before 1976. The chances are they've gotten rid of all of with all the new baseboards and trim and everything else. But it talks about what we inspect, what we don't inspect, latent hazards. I was kind of surprised, the house, a lot of houses that are this age have aluminum wiring. This has all copper. So it's
Great.
Oh, that's great. Mm-hmm.
and it must have been a different code for Plano than it was in Louisville and the Colony and some other places where they built these.
I don't think so, but maybe they replaced it. Because I've seen a lot that did.
Okay, now we're getting to the report. Structural systems have the house facing west for orientation purposes. It's slab on grade foundation. You've got grade beams and rebar for the structure of the foundation. Windows are all square in the frames. Really didn't see any significant movement. Saw some little settlement cracks.
Right.
And we kind of talked about that. It's pretty
Yeah.
typical for this age of home. Grading and drainage, everything's flowing away from the house. Roof covering, everything looks great with the roof. Shingles, the roof was probably replaced in 16 if I was guessing, because that's when a lot of people in Plano got new roofs.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Only thing I have is just the tree limbs need to be trimmed away from the roof.
Okay.
Roof structure in the attic. You have a ridge vent running along the top
Okay.
for ventilation out the
Right.
top, and then soffit vents along the eaves.
Okay.
And about, like I said, between 18 and 20 inches of insulation up in the attic. Tons. Walls, I've got a couple little interior comments and the rest of them are exterior. We've got a diagonal stress crack in sheetrock above the northeast bedroom closet door. That one's in here. They had touched up with some texture, but you can still see a little crack. Little joint repair, same thing between the formal living room, between the formal living room and the hallway going into the master.
Okay.
There's a spot up there where they touched up the texture and paint. And everything outside, the hairline vertical crack in the brick and mortar, the west wall of the master bedroom, it goes up about this high and stops. It's just a little hairline crack. There's a little small diagonal crack above the northwest master bedroom window. And they had touched up the mortar, so you can actually see it better because they touched it up. Next thing, this is the north wall of the master bedroom. There's a small crack, and that's probably about the size of a pencil lead. Next comment, there's another small vertical crack kind of on that same side, on the north side, behind the air conditioning unit. And then this little loose brick, the northeast corner of the garage. Ceilings and floors, a small settlement crack on the ceiling of the master bedroom. I didn't see any cracked tiles anywhere in the house. It's a nice heavy tile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doors, I've got one missing hinge screw on the front entry door at the top. It needs a screw put in it. And then the north bedroom door is a little bit out of square, and it's not latching.
Oh.
All the windows have been replaced, or upgraded windows. Fireplace and chimney, everything's fine with the fireplace. Needs a cap over the top of it. Back in the 70s, they just put a mortar cap on it, on top of it. There is a kind of a rain deflector inside of it, so if water does run in there, it hits a deflector and it does go out. But it does need a cap on it as well. Back porch, everything's good back there. Electrical panel, I got a few things here. On the electric meter itself, somebody has placed a padlock on the meter. That needs to be removed. It may be the electric company needs to come remove it. If the electric company has it, they usually just have a little tab
Little
lock on
tab,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't have a padlock on
Right.
it. Missing knockout covers in the panel locks, those little plastic covers
Yeah.
that go in here so you can't stick your fingers in there. And the other thing I have, and I'm sorry the picture's a little bit blurry, but there's 2 wires going to 1 breaker down at the bottom of the panel box. You should only have 1 wire connected to each breaker. So an electrician needs to come in here and add another breaker. This is just a picture of the cover taken off. Like I said, I'm sorry the picture's blurry. I didn't know it was blurry when I took it. Branch circuits, these are all your outlets and switches in the house. There's a set of wires up in the attic that should be in a junction box. There's an extension cord running to the garage door opener.
I noticed that.
There's no GFI protection on the garage outlet. Now, anywhere that potentially could get wet,
Right.
you should have a GFI. When this house was built, they didn't have them.
Right.
They added them here in the kitchen and the bathrooms. So you have, at least have those. The only
Right.
one that's not protected is the one in the garage.
I didn't think that the garage needed to have one, because there's no water.
Yeah, well, if you wash your car in there or, yeah.
Oh,
There's people,
Really?
Do you
Yeah.
wash that fast?
Yeah, well, no, I thought it had to be like a faucet or a hose thing
No.
or something.
well, the code used to read within 6 foot of the sink, the kitchen sink or bathroom sinks.
Right,
And that was about 1986. Then they came in and added the exterior outlets and the garage. Now, if the garage outlet has freezer written on it, then it doesn't have to be a GFI protected outlet.
maybe that's why I haven't heard of it, because I don't think that I've,
Well, we're gonna plug
not
a freezer
any
in.
inspections. I think
Usually-
one, but I thought it was because there was a washer and a dryer.
So if
Nine,
we
in
have
there.
a freezer and a fridge out there.
yeah, you can plug it into there and,
Okay.
right, yeah.
Okay.
That way you don't have to worry about the GFI tripping
Okay,
Right.
that's good.
on your
Yeah.
freezer.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of having a dedicated
It's true.
circuit, just,
Yeah, you don't want the freezer shut.
no. you
That's
don't.
true, that's true.
And
Okay.
9 times out of 10, if you have a GFIs on the exterior of the house, they reset in the garage.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we had. Same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah. We talked about the switches that control the outlets,
Right.
the one in here and the one in the formal living room.
Is the extension cord in the garage door now, is that an issue?
Um,
I mean, I don't know.
it's an issue for a home inspector.
Okay, okay.
Whatever you want to do when you move in,
Yeah, okay.
that's the easy way to do it.
Right. I assume there's no outlet in the ceiling.
There's no outlet, but there is a light bulb up there. There is a junction box up there, so they can add an outlet
Mm-hmm.
probably pretty
Something
easy.
that can be done there.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's not insulation over the garage, so you won't have to dig
Right.
through that.
Right.
It'll be easy to do.
is that a fire hazard or anything, or safety type?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always try to,
Oh,
anything we ask
The
for.
extension cord?
Yes. Okay,
The
okay.
extension cord is.
Yes,
Because
okay.
it's an extension cord.
Because anything
You know that.
safety, that you could,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
that's
safety
what-
issue
that's what I'm
is-
getting
Firemen
Yeah.
hate extension cords.
at. Mhm.
yeah.
We're that in the
Or
theater.
overloaded outlets.
Yeah, we've learned that.
Yeah, yeah.
Theater, we
We-
play
that's
children's
what we-
theater, we always
Theater.
have extension cords up and connecting all the lights and
we-
firemen come in.
And-
Right.
And you do what you have to do.
Yeah.
but-
Right.
Yeah. At least hopefully you're using good quality extension
Well,
Yeah,
cords.
that's
we
the
were.
thick ones, yeah.
The other thing, we talked about the mystery switch.
Yep.
That-
Yeah.
we'll figure out what that means too. Heating, everything was working properly with the gas furnace. The air filter's dirty, needs to be changed. 25 by 20 by 1. I'm gonna write that down, I didn't put it in here.
We have now, I think it's the 4-inch ones.
Yeah.
We got 3 of them.
If you forget, just ask me, because that's the same size as mine.
Oh, okay.
I'll remember.
Air conditioner, everything's cooling properly with the air conditioner. We have an 18-degree differential between what comes out of the unit at the supplies and what goes back into the system at the return. Return 68s, 50 coming into the vents. Everything's cooling well. Ducts and vents, there's really not per se any ducts in this house. The sheetrock fur down is your duct work. And it's just like that.
Right.
This area here is your duct.
Oh.
There's a vent here, vent in the bottom there. And as you go into each bedroom, you know, the ceiling in the hallway is shorter than it is in the bedrooms. So as soon as you go in the door, you'll see the vent above the door.
Okay.
It's just the way they built these homes in Mark Jacobs in the early 70s. Instead of running ducts everywhere, that was just the way they did it. And you've got 18 inches of insulation on top of them. It should be pretty efficient.
Yeah.
Plumbing, 64 PSI water pressure. Really didn't have any comments outside of that. Drains waste, there's plumber's putty, you can see in the picture, and that's on the P-trap under here. Just had a leak and didn't know how to fix it, so we put putty on it. Stoppers missing in the hall bathtub and in that hall bathroom sink. Hot water heaters, gas unit, it's in the closet with the furnace. That was all properly with that. No whirlpool tub. Skip that. Appliances, the dishwasher. Everything's functioning properly with the dishwasher, but on your dishwasher drain pipe, where it connects down at the bottom of the dishwasher over there, and then it comes around and hooks into the side of the garbage disposal up here. This needs to have what they call the high loop put in it, and it's
It has
just
to be hanging up. there.
raise it some part of it higher than
And,
where it hooks into the garbage disposal.
That's easy.
Really easy fix.
Yeah.
While this thing is getting down there. Garbage disposal is operated by the switch over here,
Okay.
and you got these lights here, operated by the switch over there.
Does the dishwasher have a switch too?
No.
No, okay.
That switch
Okay.
doesn't.
That's the
No.
garbage disposal.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's good.
So
Our one,
our
we
house has
couldn't
a
figure
switch
out
next
for
to the
the longest-
dishwasher. And
We couldn't figure out
Yeah,
why
that's-
it wasn't working.
That's a thing they did in the 80s, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's like a power disconnect for the
Yeah.
dishwasher, and
Right.
everybody goes, hey, my dishwasher's not working,
Yeah.
so we flip the switch.
Yeah, that's what we figured out.
That'd be pretty expensive appliance repair guy bill for, there you go, fixed.
I get phone calls for that, and I actually have a place on here now. Dishwasher energized with a light switch.
Oh, that's, yeah.
So
Okay.
if it is, that's gonna be checked, and I make sure I point that out to people. I get calls for that, and I get calls for Whirlpool tubs.
Oh,
Where's the GFI, or if it has a switch on the wall and an air switch, and then a GFI, if everything's not connected, it won't turn on. Okay, garbage disposal, everything was working there. Rain should, it's to the exterior of the house. If you're gonna get a bigger one, so.
At least it's good to know that.
Oven, cooktop, I checked the ovens at 350 degrees, 25 degrees plus or minus considered good.
Okay.
These were both pretty close to 350. Real important to somebody that cooks,
yes.
Yes.
especially if you're a pastry chef.
That's right.
Burned
Everybody has. Microwave, like I said, is making a little bit of a ticking noise. It's still functioning, it's just making that noise. There may be something in that fan.
Yes, like if we decide to do a vent, can we still use that microwave on the counter, or is there a special, do you have to have certain microwaves? I know that's a dumb question, but.
That's something.
Yeah,
that's true, yeah.
it does.
So that's good, just wanted to know if we had replace that.
But I
It's
don't
fine.
know,
It's fine.
I don't know why it wouldn't work other than the lip.
Yeah.
That's the thing, yeah,
Yeah.
so I really
It
never.
doesn't really have
I
any
didn't,
legs under it. You would
Plus
have
this
to-
is kind of curved.
It is kind of curved, yeah, that would be kind
Let's see what else we had. The hall bathroom exhaust fan is not operating.
Yeah, we noticed that when you're turning the
Yeah,
lights on.
yeah.
Right. One in the master works, but the one in the hall bathroom doesn't. Garage door is operating properly. It's got the auto reversing feature. If you leave your car sticking too far, it'll come down, touch it, go back up. It's got safety electric eyes.
Okay,
Kitty cat or kid breaks the beam, it'll go back up.
okay.
Dryer vents out through the roof. And the sprinkler, like I said, there's 3 risers in the front flower bed. It's a manual system, but the pipes are leaking down at the bottom. If you want to try to figure out where that goes, you'll probably have to replace a whole bunch of piping to get it.
We'll see, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.